I have got here the Supro Delta King 12 tube amp. It does not have an effects loop, but it does have some interesting looking jacks on the back here. We've got a line out and then a power amp input. This one over here is for the foot switch. So if we were to pull a signal from the line out, run it through some pedals, and then run that signal back into the power amp input, that kind of seems like an effects loop. And you know, when I was shopping for this, I kind of wondered, would that work? And I've seen some discussions online questioning whether or not that would work, and I'm just going to tell you right now, it does not. So I'm going to prove it to you. So I've got the amp set up here in the traditional method of running through the chorus pedal and then from the chorus pedal into the main input of the amp, just to have our little control set up. And this is what it sounds like with the chorus pedal off, just a clean amp. Turn the chorus on. So you can hear that the effect is being, you know, the affected signal is going into the amp. Now I have the guitar plugged directly into the amp input, and then I have the line out from the amp going to the chorus pedal, and the chorus pedal output going to the power amp input on the amp. Let's see what happens. Nothing. We get nothing out of the speaker. All you're hearing is the string noise on my electric guitar. Try turning on the chorus pedal. And nothing. So this is not an effects loop, and it cannot be used as an effects loop. So sorry to burst your bubble if you were hoping to get an effects loop with this amp. Obviously you can still use your effects into the front of the amp, but you cannot use these ports to set up a makeshift effects loop. I'm going to read from the manual what these are meant to do. So the line out provides a buffered preamp output to another amplifier or to a console floor recording. And then the power amp input, that is to provide a direct injection point for the 6L6 power amp in the Delta King 12. Plugging into this jack interrupts the connection between the preamp and the power amp, allowing players to use different preamps or modeling hardware to achieve an unlimited variety of tones while still enjoying the Class A warmth of the Delta King tube power section. So what that's saying is, if you wanted to, you could plug preamps and modelers directly into this input, but you cannot use the two as a effects loop. So now I've got it set up in that configuration that they talk about in the manual, where you can use modeler / preamp to go directly into the power amp input. And let's see what that sounds like. So we've got nothing going into the main input up here. I just have the guitar going to the Pod Express here, and then the output from the Pod Express going into the power amp input on the amp. See how that sounds. And I've also got the chorus effect on here on the Pod Express. All right, thanks. By the way, I love this amp. I'll put my effects to the front, and that's totally fine by me.